Hi, my name is Justin, aka Ghost Reader, and today I am going to be doing the PostScript book tag. I saw this going around and thought it'd be a great way to end the year, a nice tag to send me off in this channel into 2019. So, without further ado, here we go. Question 1. The longest book you read this year and the book that took you the longest to finish. And of course, that would be War and Peace, which was the longest book I read this year with 1,110 pages. And that took 6 months for me to read because I was supposed to start in July. I was supposed to finish by September, and that did not happen. That ended up, well, basically now finishing it a couple days ago. So it was quite a read and quite a monster to read. So the second one is a book you read in 2018 that was outside of my comfort zone. So I read a lot of books this year. I don't know if I would consider any of them necessarily out of my comfort zone. I think, I'm only considering a book that I read outside of my comfort zone. Next year, I think I will tend to read books that I would think are outside of my comfort zone. I think the closest I would get to being outside of my comfort zone is the library at Mount Char, but I wouldn't necessarily say that that was outside of it. It would have been, I say, a couple years ago reading library at Mount Char, but now not so much. But definitely next year I'm going to try to read more books that will put me outside of my comfort zone. 3. A book. How many books did you reread in 2018? So I reread The Foundation by Isaac Asimov, Secret Wars, which was a graphic novel about was one of the biggest crossovers in comic book history, one of the first really big comic book crossovers. The Iliad. What was that book called? The Storm Before the Storm by Mike Duncan. It was about the Roman Republic. The Black Monday Murders, Volume 1 and 2. I reread those. And I reread, almost forgot, but I reread The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That was a reread. So that's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 9 books. So I reread 9 books this year. That's not too bad. What was my favorite reread of 2018? And my favorite reread for 2018, I would probably have to say would be The Two Towers. That was a really good read. Actually, no, this is the Lord of the Rings trilogy as a whole. The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings trilogy. Really like rereading those again, and just being back in that world again. That was really fun to reread. All right, a book you read for the first time in 2018 that you look forward to rereading in the future, and that's going to be The Library at Mount Char. I'm definitely rereading that at some point next year. 6. Favorite single short story or novella that you read in 2018. So that would be Binti, the first Binti book. I've actually forgotten I read the Binti series, but the first book in the Binti series would have to be my favorite novella of last year, for sure. 7. Mass Appeal. A book that you like and will recommend to a wide variety of readers, and that would be Circe. That was a very good book by Madeline Miller, and I hope she comes out with another book based off classic myth soon, because she has done a very good job so far with the first 2 that she's done. So definitely that. 8. Specialized Appeal. A book you liked that would be, but would be hesitant to recommend to just anyone. And for this, I had to think about this one. There's this book called The Last and First Men by Olaf Stapleton, I believe. This is a book that I found on a list of, I think it was like 10 sci-fi books, 10 books that every sci-fi fan has said they read, but hadn't really read. And this was on the list. And basically, this book is it is a history of mankind. So a person from way in the future is projecting himself back into the past, into the body of a person in the early 20th century, and he's writing down the history of mankind from the early 20th century, I think so many, I think, millions or billions of years into the future. And basically, he goes through the history of mankind and its history on Earth and all the different iterations of mankind that come, the different evolutions and things like that. And so basically, it is kind of like it reads like a history book. A historical narrative, but also reads almost as an anthropological study as well, because he goes into some detail in some of the cultures of some of the iterations of mankind. So it is a very almost scholarly like read. So it's not something that I would just say like, oh yes, you have to read this book. It was great. It's not an easy read. It reads almost like a textbook at times. When it's describing like the cultures and different practices that certain iterations of mankind have. Like one was really into airplanes, so they would spend most of their time like flying planes around doing stunts. One type of mankind had to fight the Martians. Mankind at one point became a brain, then realized that just being a brain wasn't like the best way to go, so created bodies again. And so it's a really interesting out there history of mankind. And he's actually written another one that I think it was even bigger in scope and not just follows mankind, but like the history of like the universe. Yeah, this is not something I would recommend to just anyone. I probably wouldn't recommend it to anyone at all, actually, because I think that very few people would find it a very interesting read. But yeah. Question 9 is reflect on your year as a bookish content creator. Goals met, good, bad memories, favorite videos you made, etc. So I'm going to do more of this in detail in another video. But this year was a very good year. My channel surpassed all my expectations for what I thought I would have on this channel. I didn't put in my goal video, but my goal really for this year was to have between 50 to 100 subscribers, and instead I'm over 1,000 subscribers. So I want to once again say thank you to all the people who subscribe to me and watch my videos and comment. It means a lot to me, because I didn't think I would be here within a year at all. I thought that if I get like 50 subscribers, I'll be good. But that has been just extraordinary. It's been a very interesting year because I also got to do some original content. I made the World War I series, which was very hard and painful to make, but very good to see once it was finished. It was a lot of hard work. I learned a lot of lessons going forward on things that I should do, should not do with that. But that was really fun to make, and also it was really fun to see that you guys appreciated that. I made a lot of good friends in this space, and I met a lot of good people, had a lot of good conversations, and it's just really been quite the experience making videos and putting them on YouTube. Never thought that I'd be doing this a year later or have the success that I've had this year. So going forward, I hope to just maintain the same level of content that I had, or even actually be even better than I was this year, having a year of this under my belt. And look forward to commenting, looking at the comments with you guys, talking to you guys on Twitter or Discord. And it's been good, and I look forward to doing some new stuff in the new year. Definitely want to do another series of nonfiction based series in the coming year. I'm not sure what that would be yet. I do have one idea, but we'll see if I'm going to do it. And if I do it, I'll definitely let you guys know when and when I'll be doing it. Of course, it'll be on this channel, but when I'll be doing it. So, but yeah, it's been really great, you guys. It's been a really good year, and it's been great looking back at all the friendships that I made, all the books that I've read. Never thought I would have read 52 books, which was my goal for this year. I'm now close to 100 books. Never thought that would be possible, but here we are. Because I didn't read much before starting this channel. Well, in the past years, a couple of years, I haven't really read that much. To go from basically reading like maybe 3 books a year to almost 100 is quite something. So yeah, it's been a good year, and I look forward to even better one in 2019. And of course, the last questions to tag people. So it's going to be the last day of the year, so I'm not going to tag anyone in particular, But if you want to do the PostScript tag, you thought it was a really good tag and be something that you like to do on your channel, I would suggest that you go ahead and do it. It's a very good way to look back at what you read in 2018 and kind of see what you like, what you didn't like, and so yeah, it's just a great tag. So I want to thank all of you. It's been a good 2018. I wish you all the best in 2019, and as always, if you want to see more videos from me, you can hit that like button, you can subscribe, you can follow me on Twitter at GhostReach28, and also on Goodreads. The link to that is down in the description box below. So as always, keep reading, and Happy New Year.